Have you ever wanted to tap into the high-level players and extract the essential tips and tricks to get better at playing at Civ? Well, sit back and relax because I take on the challenge to do just that. Welcome to the Masterclass series. Let's do this. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first sort of masterclass where we're going to be looking at Germany today. And I have ErwTann here, who's also been highlighted on some of my other videos as well. Thought first we just give the floor to ErwTann to introduce himself. ErwTann, how you doing? You all right?
Hey, Widgie. How are you doing? I'm fine for my part. I'm really enjoying the fact that you're asking me to giving advice to new people, new players. So thank you very much.
Sure thing. So do you want to just give a bit of background about yourself, like how long you've been playing the game? And also a fun little thing as well is also just a little bit around your name as well, like why you're called ErwTann. I think that's quite a good question as well. So yeah, if you want to introduce yourself.
Okay, so basically I started to play Age of Empires 3 really young, like 8 years ago, but it was only on single players and just against computers. I was really bad. And then at some point, my dad bought me the Definitive Edition.
Yep.
And this is where I found that the game was more than just playing against random bots and pressing buttons and things like that. It was actually a really artsy game with real strategies. And I tried to improve the best. Then I met a French YouTuber, which helped me really a lot to get better at the game. It leads me to meet new people, really high-level people. And just because I kept fighting, kept trying to get better, I actually got better than them. I finally beat the ones that were my sort of black sheeps, like the guys that I couldn't beat once.
Yeah.
And yep, basically that's where I am right now.
So if we start with just the one tip overall that has maybe helped you progress in the game, what kind of knowledge could you share to the player base?
I think the most important one in my part is about micro-gestion. When it comes to counter groups, when you get your light infantry, your heavy infantry, heavy cavalry, light cavalry, all separated, it's really important that you master the fact that you have this unit in this group and immediately you press it when you want to sort of move it back or move it forward. Knowing drag box and every sort of things like that. Like some things like I usually like to do is to have crossbows and Uhlans and run my crossbows at the same speed as Uhlans. And it's really important that when you master the drag box, it's like your light infantry was just running as fast as cav.
Yeah,
actually,
so it's kind of so sort of breaking that down into two parts. So one element is having your hotkeys for your specific types of units, so you can easily jump to them when you are in a battle. And then the other element of that is the drag box, which is whereby if you have some distance between two different types of units, if you drag box, select them, and then click to move them, you can essentially pull that slower infantry unit and they can run pretty much as fast as cavalry for a short amount of time, so you can get them out of danger pretty quickly. So I really like that. That's quite good because obviously with micro, you can make your units last a lot longer and you can be way more effective than you actually thought you can be. So moving on to 3 tips specifically for Germany, because I know that you play Germany quite a lot. Obviously you haven't been playing too recently, but over the years you've been playing them quite a lot. What kind of 3 tips could you give players specifically wanting to pick up and play Germany and improve at playing Germany?
Well, the very first one is focused about the settler wagons. So the settler wagons is sort of 2 wheels unit. And it's really interesting in the fact that the settler wagon builds like at the same speed as 3 villagers. So if you want to build buildings be almost sure to always build with a settler wagon. It's really important. Another big thing about settler wagons is that, for instance, against Russia, what you want to do is to always have your settler wagons out of your TC, because as you know, the TC fire rate is based on the number of villagers in your TC. So it caps at 10. But if you got a settler wagon in the TC, the problem is that it only make it like it was only a single. It counts on one, exactly. So every time you want to get your settler wagons out, like they go on the mine, even if you don't need coin, just get them out. Keep having 10 straight villagers, normal villagers in the town center, nothing else.
Okay, I see. Very good.
If you want another thing interesting about settler wagons, if you noticed how it's called, all of the little figures about the villagers, settler wagons have a high range resistance, 40%.
Wow.
So against sort of crossbows or musketeers or even skirmishers units, when it comes in your base, you can sometimes get your settler wagon in forward position to tank a bit. Don't let them stay too long, because when you lose a settler wagon, it hurts a lot your economy, but they can tank a lot. But if it's cav, get them out of here, because they don't have many.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, fantastic. And the second tip for the masses?
The second tip is a very short one, and it's about the use of the church technology. For the ones that doesn't know the church technology with the German, the church card gives you the ability of 3 things. The first one is to increase by 20% all your land units, your infantry units, by 20% speed. But on the other hand, and from that point, all the infantry units will cost 10% more in all resources. So what you want to do is to send the shipment and send this upgrade at the right moment, just before a fight, to have an insane mobility, and that it doesn't impact you a lot on the economy. The 2 other one are not the most interesting one. One is about getting mercenaries for free, but it's cost 3,000 gold, So quite terrible. And the other is in H4, $12 for 1,000 gold and 10% HP. Not the best, but not the worst.
I actually didn't know that at all. Yeah, my knowledge is quite limited on the church text for like the European civs. So no, that's really nice. That's a great tip that hopefully people can pass on. So what is your final tip for Germany?
Well, the final tip is more about the last time I coached you with Germany. In one game, it was against a Dutch player, I remember. We went full skirmishers and Uhlans, and the problem being that the opponent went heavy on cavalry. So when you go with standard builds with Germany and you go for a semi-FF or FF straight with war wagons, it's really important to sort of really choose the number of war wagons that you have in your army wisely, because if you have too much, they are completely useless. They will overkill cav, and they will be really easy to be sniped by the skirmishers. But if you have too less, and that's what happened during the coaching, is that we hadn't any entire cavalry and we just been wiped.
I just got maybe a sort of extra bonus kind of question. See if you can answer it. What is your sort of most fun meme build that you have with Germany that you've done in the past? Something that you like to sometimes do and have fun with. What's your most favorite fun strategy?
What is interesting with Germany is it can do almost everything. It comes from H2 Rush to Fast Fortress, Fast Industrial and Revolts, maybe not, but it also have access to the natives, the outlaws, the mercenaries, and very different types of units. And what I like to do for my part is, like I told you, to go really heavy on crossbows and pikes and send the church deck, which makes my army completely insane. A very funny build, but which I think it will become really more popular with the new patch, is a sort of rush in H2 and then going for H3 and sending the landward technology.
Oh,
I
the
really
landers.
like the landward.
Yeah.
What's interesting about the landwars is that it has really, really, really high damage based. So against skirmishers, they do really, really well. They don't have that terrible multipliers against cavalry. They do have a lot of multipliers also against, it's called light cavalry.
Yeah.
And something that's really interesting, we have to notice that crossbows and skirmishers are not the same. Crossbows in the arsenal and the advanced arsenal cannot be upgraded by powder units or counter rifle infantry.
Yep.
But it is the case for the landways once you upgrade it. So 15% HP, 10% damage, twice more damage against heavy infantry. Like in H3, I believe you can do almost 80 damage against musketeers, for example.
Wow. So we're talking about a potential strategy where you open up bow pike, a lot of pressure in H2. You then go into H3 with the advanced arsenal and the landver tech, where you can essentially start having a skirmisher unit that can offer those upgrades. You can get those upgrades from the advanced arsenal, whereas with the crossbow you're unable to. So you could try and use those units and replace the crossbows with the landvers.
And then when you get to H3, you already sort of have this sort of skirmisher mass, because exactly when you send the landway reform, it just turns all your crossbowmen into landways. So basically, it's like you completely changed all your crossbows into skirmishers.
So yeah, if you have a big mass of them, it can be really good when they fully convert.
Exactly, that's the point of the unit. Like the unit is really cheap, and even if you send the church tech, what will happen? It will only cost 4 food and 4 wood more. It's really, really nothing compared to the normal price.
Wow. There we go. Fantastic. Well, all I can say is, ErwTann, thank you very much for spending some time just having a look at Germany in specific as a masterclass, and hopefully everybody who's watching can take something away, jump onto the ladder and try out Germany. And also from that first tip at the start as well, can try and use that, improve at their micro, getting those control groups in, and hopefully you'll have better and improved fights throughout. So all I can say is, ErwTann, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it.
Yep. If you want me to add just a little thing about the micro at the end.
Yeah.
Something that really helped me a lot at getting better at microing my units and the control groups is to have sort of an opponent that is at the same level, and you go in lobby and you do some time to macro. I swear to God, it is the best way to get better at this. Really.
So you're saying to queue with someone in lobby, someone same skill level, and just have like loads of fights and just get better at micro. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Like for instance, I'm sorry for Sheikh, but Sheikh has a great macro, but not the best micro. And I feel like for him, it will be really good to sort of practice more time to micro with me. Yeah, but he doesn't want to, so.
Yeah, so it's one thing mastering your macro, but you really need to improve on the micro because it's so crucial. You could simply have the quantity advantage and have the advantage with eco, but you could easily lose a major fight and then it's pretty much game over.
Basically, you can have a terrible macro in condition to have a good micro.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the whole point of the game.
Fantastic. All right, ErwTann, thank you very much. Really appreciate it. And hopefully people watching have taken a lot of advice. And of course, let me know down in the comments below what you guys think. Maybe there's some extra bits that you would like to add to help people play as well. And there's going to be more masterclasses coming with different civs from high-level players. So, you know, stay tuned. There's going to be more coming out on the channel. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. See you later. Bye-bye.